What I want to talk about today is the real reason that you are having a hard time finishing your website, or the real reason that you're having a hard time even getting started with your website. So give me a little heart in the chat or a little thumbs up if you feel stuck either finishing and perfecting your website, or if you feel stuck even getting started. Because here's the deal, it's not for the reasons that you think. Usually when we start creating a website, we think, okay, I need somewhere to build it like Squarespace, I need some images to put on there, I need some copy to put on there, and once I have all of those things, I'm going to be fine. That's what I need. The thing is that it's not as straightforward as that, because your brain will interfere and will mess you up at every step of the process, because how you feel about your website and your mindset has a huge impact on your end result. And let me explain why. So I actually just saw like a whole bunch of little hearts just pop up in the chat, and I saw some other people join us. So welcome, welcome. And I'm so glad that you guys, this is resonating with you, that you've had a hard time finishing or starting your website before. So like I said, the real reason for this isn't because you're not smart enough to figure it out. It's not because you're not capable. It's not because you're not able to do this stuff. It's because of your mindset. It's because your brain is wired to mess you up with projects like this. So here's the deal. We entrepreneurs have two brains. We've got rational brain, which says things like, yeah, I want to get my new website up by 2020, and I want to launch it, and I want to book 3 new clients in the next month. That's your rational brain. Your rational brain says, let's do this thing. If you've heard that voice, give me a thumbs up or a heart in the chat, okay? Now, your rational brain is not the one running the show, unfortunately. You've also got reptile brain. And reptile brain says things like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not good enough. I should delete this social media post that I've just put up. This isn't perfect, right? Reptile brain is that very ancient, like fight or flight part of your mind that is designed to keep you safe. And when you're trying to stretch into new territory, when you're trying to launch your website, get started with your website, finish it, book more clients, your rational brain is saying, let's go. And your reptile brain is like, bah! And your reptile brain is going to do whatever it takes to keep you safe. So, hey Sorcha, I just saw Sorcha pop on here. So good to see you. And if you guys have ever felt your reptile brain kick in, again, give me a thumbs up or a heart in the chat, because we're going to talk about how to deal with that and some of the most common ways that that reptile brain shows up and will sabotage your progress on your website. I want you to have a gorgeous website that makes you money and that sells your services, and I want you to get it done quickly and easily. And the only way to do that is if we deal with our reptile brains. So we need to understand how this commonly shows up, and then reframe some of those beliefs so that when they do pop up, you can be like, this is normal. Cami told me that this would happen when I'm trying to launch my website. So let me just move past this. So number one most common way that your reptile brain will sabotage your progress on your website is the belief that I'm not tech savvy. I'm just not tech savvy. So if you've had that pop up, give me a thumbs up or a comment. This is one that I hear all the time, and it's not true in the slightest. The reality is that you are one of the most tech-savvy humans to have ever lived in the history of humanity. And that sounds extreme, but hear me out. Right now, you're watching this live stream, you're connecting with me on a phone, a tablet, or a computer that has more computing power in it than what NASA used to get people to the moon. Literally. You operate this sophisticated computer, whether it's your phone, your tablet, your laptop, whatever, you operate this machine with ease all day, every day. And the reason for that is you've just had practice. Hey, Chloe, I just saw Chloe pop in here. Welcome. Heather says, haha, true. So true, Heather. The fact that you are watching this live stream right now, the fact that you check your email, you send text messages, you share videos and photos online, all of this means that you are one of the most tech-savvy people in the history of our species. If you went back in time, just 100 years even, people would have either worshipped you as a god for your abilities, or they would have burned you at the stake. They would have been like, this is crazy, this person knows so much stuff that I don't know, right? So you are in fact tech savvy, The reason you don't feel tech savvy right now is because you just haven't had the right training and the right guidance. Tech is a learnable skill. None of us like pop out of the womb being like, I know how to build a perfect website. I'm so great. Like, no, this is a learnable skill, just like walking, talking, reading, cooking. It's all very doable. And the reason you don't feel tech savvy yet is you just haven't had the right guidance. And I'm not tech savvy is something that your reptile brain will throw at you to keep you in your comfort zone and keep you playing small. If your rational brain is saying, I want to launch this new website, I want to book more clients, I want to become this bigger, badder version of myself, that freaks your reptile brain out a little bit, right? Your reptile brain's like, we're not ready for that. We want to stay here where it's nice and warm and cozy and comfy. So I'm going to tell her that she's not tech savvy and she's going to believe me. And then we will stay in this cozy, comfy zone. Is this making sense to you guys? Is this hitting home? Give me a little thumbs up if it is, because I know I typically talk about the nitty-gritty of strategy and design and really the tactical how-tos, but I thought it was so important to address mindset today. And actually, I should remind you that if you want more of those tactical nitty-gritty steps, make sure that you're registered for the masterclass that I'm hosting this Friday, October 18th, because we're going to be going through all of that. You can save your seat at simplesiteblueprint.com/masterclass. Okay, so we've talked about why being tech savvy is a myth and why this is a story that's holding you back. And Heather says that yes, stories we tell ourselves are BS. It's totally true, Heather. And it's not BS because you're lying to yourself, right? It's BS that you're telling yourself to keep yourself safe, but we don't want to be safe. We want to go out there and book more clients and live bigger, better versions of our lives. And we want to do big things and build momentum. So let's talk about the second way that these stories show up and what to do about it. So I'm not tech savvy is a big one. And I want you to reframe that when you've got that coming up. I want you to reframe it as I'm capable of learning new things because I've done it so many times before, and tech is just a learnable skill, okay? All right, so we've tackled tech savviness. The next thing I want to talk about is perfectionism. So give me a thumbs up or a heart in the comments if you've ever said something like, I just want the perfect website. I will finish my website. I will start my website. I'll get this done when it's perfect. But right now, it's not perfect, so I can't do anything with it. And I just want it to be perfect. If that sounds like you, let me know, because this is also a really, really common one. Chloe says, oh, yes. We all have this, Chloe, particularly creative people like you and me. So the deal with this one is that there is no such thing as the perfect website. It flat out does not exist. And the reason for that is that your business is always growing and evolving. Your niche is fine-tuning. You're creating new offers. You're evolving as you go. And web design trends and what we consider good also changes, right? Think about websites even from just like 5 years ago. They look hideous now. They're so hard to use. They're so far from perfect. And the reason for that is that things just change online very quickly. Chloe says that she spent 6 months on her website. Oh man, Chloe, yeah, you must have been battling some perfectionism hard. So things change in your business, things change in your life, things change online. And even websites that you think are really polished and perfect, like maybe you love marieforleo.com. That's one that I hear about all the time. Even that website's not perfect. It's always being changed and always being updated. So the idea of being able to create a perfect website is BS to the nth degree. It doesn't exist. It's not true. So what this really is it's your reptile brain coming in and saying, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of not being good enough. I'm afraid that people aren't going to like what I have to offer. I'm afraid of it being too good and me getting booked out with clients and not being able to handle all of them. I'm afraid, and I'm going to make it sound like perfectionism because perfectionism is fear with a sexier outfit on, right? And you believe it. Like reptile brain tells you this stuff. It says, I can't launch my website until it's perfect. And then your rational brain says, yeah, you know what? That sounds legit. I do have high standards as a person. I do want to put out good work. I do want it to be good enough and professional enough. So let me tinker with it for 6 months like Chloe did. Let me fiddle with every little detail and not launch and not market myself and not get clients. And in that way, again, you come back into your comfort zone. You come back into that space where you're safe. Reptile Brain has done its job and it's won, and your website isn't started, it isn't launched, you're not booking clients through it, and everybody is just playing like a big sad trombone, right? Has this happened to you? Am I the only one that this has happened to? I feel like I hear this so often, particularly from designers, and I've experienced it myself as well. You just tweak and perfect endlessly. So when that comes up for you, when you have that little reptile brain moment where you're like, I want my site to be perfect, I want you to reframe that and say, there is no such thing as the perfect website, and my website is good enough for now, and I am worthy. I am worthy of putting this out into the world. Doesn't that just feel better? Doesn't that, like, you breathe a sigh of relief, right? All right, let me look in the chat here real quick. I see Kelsey just joined. Hey, Kelsey. Chloe said that she also falls into the comparison trap, like other websites are so much better and prettier. Chloe, yeah, that's such a great point. That comparison envy is like a twin sister to perfectionism. And actually, we're going to be talking about how to get over that on the masterclass on Friday. So if you haven't saved your seat yet, make sure you do that at simplesiteblueprint.com/masterclass, because we're going to talk about how to ditch that perfection paralysis, how to ditch that comparison envy, and just get your website done already. Kelsey says, preach it, girl. Yeah, Kelsey, we are talking all about mindset today, mindset and how it trips you up when it comes to your website. So we've talked about the belief that I'm not tech savvy, and how when that pops up, you're going to reframe it as tech is a learnable skill, and I'm confident that I can learn new things because I have done it so many times before. We've talked about perfectionism and how when your brain is saying, I just want my website to be perfect and I can't launch it or market it yet because it's not perfect, how you're going to say to yourself, I'm good enough as I am right now. I'm worthy, and there is no such thing as the perfect website. My website is good enough for now. And the third big thing that I see, the third huge way that reptile brain shows up and totally craps all over your success, is overwhelm. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed when it comes to your website, let me know in the comments. Give me a yes or a thumbs up or whatever, because overwhelm, it might be funny to talk about overwhelm as a mindset issue, as a belief or as a choice, but it is. So if you're feeling not tech savvy and you're feeling like your website needs to be perfect and you're not there yet, you probably are looking at other people's websites and comparing yourself to them. And you're probably doing endless amounts of research on YouTube and Pinterest and Google and reading all the blog posts, and you are feeling freaking fried because you've got so many things coming at your brain, so many conflicting bits of information. You know, should you use WordPress or Squarespace or something else? Should your design be this? Should it be that? Should it be whatever? Oh man, I just saw all the hearts go crazy in the chat, so I know that this is hitting home for you. Yeah. This overwhelm is a natural byproduct of feeling not tech savvy and feeling that perfection paralysis. Chloe says, yes, totally. You get stuck in this loop of just researching and taking in information, and all of the little ends in your brain just start to fry and go like poof. You start to burn out and not take any action whatsoever. And I want you to know that overwhelm is not something that happens to you. It's something that you are actively choosing. You're allowing overwhelm to come into your life, because the truth is that there are systems and support out there, like my course, Simple Site Blueprint, that will walk you through a step-by-step roadmap for how to design and build your website and how to get it done simply. So the reason that you're feeling overwhelmed is that, one, you don't have that roadmap, you don't have that guidance, and two is that overwhelm is your reptile's brain way of keeping you safe, again, keeping you in your comfort zone. Because if you chose to not feel overwhelmed, if you chose to get the support that you need and follow that step-by-step blueprint or roadmap, you wouldn't feel overwhelmed, and then you'd finish your website, you'd start your website, you'd launch it, and suddenly you'd have to be playing a bigger game than you're playing right now. And your reptile brain does not want that for you. Your reptile brain wants to keep you safe and keep you cozy. And so while your rational mind is like, yes, I want to get this done, your reptile brain is like, absolutely not. Let's throw all this overwhelm at her and keep her stuck in this endless research loop. So now we've got this kind of like toxic cocktail happening in your brain, right? We've got, I'm not tech savvy. We've got, I can't launch my website until it's perfect. And then we've got, I'm so overwhelmed, all of which has this kind of like paralyzing effect, right? It keeps you right where you are. There is no taking action from that place because you freaking can't, because you've got all of these thoughts spinning around your mind. And I'm seeing so many hearts, so I know that you're feeling this way as well, which is so good, because the good news here is that this is all really fixable stuff. When you know that this is what's happening and you know why it's happening, you can move past it. So again, instead of saying I'm not tech savvy, you can say tech is a learnable skill and I'm confident that I can learn new things because I have done it so many times. When you think of that perfectionism and you start saying my website's not perfect enough, you can say, oh yeah, Cami told me that would happen, and actually there's no such thing as the perfect website. So instead I'm going to try my best and I'm going to make it good enough for now and then tweak and edit it as my business evolves and as I evolve. And then when overwhelm creeps in and you start feeling your brain start to fry, you can say, oh yeah, this is normal too. Cami told me this was going to happen. And actually, I recognize this as a choice. And so I know that when I have a step-by-step roadmap to follow, when I have all the trainings and templates and support that I need, I can get this done without any overwhelm whatsoever. In fact, I'm willing to allow my website to be easy. And that's a big one. We are so trained to work hard, to work even harder, to hustle hard, to try our best, to put 110% effort in, all of that. We actually have a really hard time. I've experienced this personally so many times, but we actually have a really hard time allowing things to be easy, right? Your rational brain says, I want this to be easy, but in reality, you do everything possible to complicate it for yourself and hold yourself back and sabotage yourself with these beliefs that I'm not tech savvy, I'm not perfect enough, and I'm super, super overwhelmed. All right, let me look in the chat because I see some good stuff happening here. Kelsey says, done is better than perfect. Amen, Kelsey. That is exactly what I teach in my course, Simple Site Blueprint, because there's no such thing as the perfect website. There is a website that's done for now, that's good enough for now, and you need to be able to get that out into the world quickly so you can start booking clients, and then you need to be able to make tweaks and adjustments as you go along. So I love that you said that, because that's exactly what I teach people how to do. And Shelly here says she loves the let it be easy mentality, that it is a game changer. Yeah, it is a game changer. I want you all to try it on for size right now. I don't know where you are, if you are alone in a co-working space, driving, wherever. If you're somewhere that you can speak out loud, and if you're not, just say it internally to yourself. But I want you to say this with me, okay? I'm gonna give you those reframes, and I want you to say it either out loud, because that's really powerful, or just to yourself internally. So, tech is a learnable skill, and I'm confident that I can learn new things because I've done it so many times before. All right, got it? Said it? Cool. Next thing I want you to say, there is no such thing as the perfect website. Done is better than perfect, and the website I create with the right support and guidance will be good enough for now, and I know I can change things as I go along. Feel good? Are you feeling better? Yeah. All right, next one is, I know that my website can be easy when I have the right support and guidance, and I'm willing to let it be easy, and I make the choice to not feel overwhelmed. Awesome, Shelly's done it. Love it, love all the hearts. Guys, the mindset work is so key. And nobody really talks about it, which I find kind of frustrating, because you can have all of the tech tutorials and all of the templates and all of the guidance in the world. But if you don't have this mindset piece of things and you don't have your beliefs dialed in, you will continue to struggle. You won't launch your website, you won't start it, you won't finish it, and it's going to be as somebody said to me on DMs today, it's going to be 5 different kinds of headaches. But when you combine this mindset work with the tech tutorials that you need, with the strategy, with the templates, with that step-by-step blueprint, suddenly your website becomes quick and easy and doable, and dare I say it, even fun. So that's why actually in Simple Site Blueprint, one of the first things that we talk about is mindset. I have a whole mindset training for you in the course because this is such a key component. You need to have your brain working with you, not against you, to see success with your website. So if you want that mindset training, and if you want that step-by-step blueprint and all of those tutorials and templates and that support and that guidance, then come and join me in the masterclass on Friday, because I'm going to be opening up the doors to Simple Site Blueprint and giving you $200 off for early bird enrollment. And I'm going to be teaching you in that masterclass step by step the nitty-gritty of how to create a simple website that sells your services. So I really, really hope that I'll see you on the masterclass. You can save your seat at simplesiteblueprint.com/masterclass. And if you want to keep this conversation going about mindset, I want you to DM me and tell me which belief you're going to reframe today and what's been holding you back in the past. All right, sound good? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the masterclass on Friday, and I'll chat to you on the Instagram DMs. Bye for now. Now I have to figure out how to actually end this thing. There we go, there's the little end button. All right, bye guys.